Welcome back, everybody. Happy Wednesday. After reaching yearly highs, Bitcoin had a bit of a pullback yesterday, only for it to come aggressively back, screaming toward $52,000. We're going to tell you why that is. It is a full-blown bull run, guys. And we are excitingly quickly approaching altcoin season, and why the stage is set for one of the biggest giga pumps you have ever seen. That's right, alt season is going to be the biggest that the world has ever seen. The biggest gains that anybody has ever made in any investing class ever will be made in the next 18 to 24 months. Mark my words on that, guys. So today we're going to talk about the timeline of when alt season might be approaching, how to kind of roll into it, and at the end, I'm going to give you a couple updates on something that will help you make some really good money in the interim. All right, guys, if you're excited for the video, if you're excited for Bitcoin at $52,000, do me a favor, destroy that like button. Let's get into the show and show you the chart over here. If you haven't seen it already, it's a good looking chart. You know, and it's funny too, because I don't know why. I'm fully exposed to the market right now. I mean, only thing I haven't done is I have one piece of real estate that I should probably sell to get into. But anyway, like, I'm very exposed, much more than most people, and I still feel FOMO here. But and I'm using anyway, guys. But let me know in the comments below too if you somehow feel FOMO, because like you just feel like it's coming, But nice thing is though is that your portfolio is increasing in value. If you're watching this channel, your portfolio is increasing in value. Most of the altcoins that we pick have increased many multiples by now, and of course the crypto markets are led by King Bitcoin. So what an incredible chart to see here. It's been up, and this is all because of ETF inflows primarily, right? I mean, it is the market cycles. It is all planned perfectly with cyclical in nature and halving everything that's coming up. But we cannot deny that as of yesterday, there was $631 million of positive net flows into the spot ETFs. A huge day for BlackRock with almost 500 million. And then, just like 20 minutes ago before I started filming this, we got this post from Eric Balkunas over there at Bloomberg. It says, more unusual second wind strength on display from IBIT, which is BlackRock, which has broken its weekly volume record, and it's only Wednesday with an average of $760 million a day. What? Top 1% volume, also a good predictor of inflows for newborn ETFs, given there aren't many existing owners to sell. No one's selling this Bitcoin ETF anytime soon, right? People because this is something that even Larry said himself, that this is an asset that people are going to think of like gold. And I didn't pull up the data on for this video, but gold ETFs and gold value is flowing out. I'm not saying it's directly going into Bitcoin, but it would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? So BlackRock absolutely destroying it and putting them in the top 7% of all ETFs around the world. Huge. And let's just Michael Saylor for a second here, being Michael Saylor, of course.
Your outlook for Bitcoin, and then we'll jump into earnings.
I think a lot of this is just indicative of the popularity of Bitcoin as an asset class. It's now the world's most popular investment asset. It's novel, it's digital, it's global, it's unique, and it's uncorrelated to traditional risk assets because it doesn't come with exposure to any given country, currency, company, quarterly result, product cycle, competitor, not to weather, not to war, not to an employee base or supply chain. And so that makes it a natural addition to the portfolio of a responsible investor. There's 10 years of pent-up demand. People have been waiting for these ETFs, and finally, mainstream investors are able to access Bitcoin. And I think that's what's driving the surge of capital in the asset class. And initially, there was a rebalancing as people were moving capital between the futures market and the miners and MicroStrategy and the ETFs. But following that rebalancing, I think the assets found its footing, and now people are beginning to realize that there's 10 times as much demand for Bitcoin coming in through these ETFs as there is supply coming from the natural sellers, who are the miners.
Yeah, and of course,
which is nuts, right? So I mean, I think that the the for me, it's like, why wouldn't we just open up 100x leverage long right now on Bitcoin, right? It just seems like so obvious, right? And it's that I think that for me anyway, that's what's making me I know why the FOMO is, because I don't have any trades open over here on Bybit. I closed my trade out earlier. It was $100,000 of profit, but it's I'm not in the market here, and it's like. But that is a thing. So guys, if you want to join the trading group and go all the chads who are just killing it in the VIP group, the instructions are in the description below on how to get in there. Let me know in the comments below too. Like you guys know I'm not a professional trader by any means. And I got a little scared when I longed the ETF. Full transparency here. So I've been hesitant to come back in, and let me know in the comments below what you guys are doing. Are you longing Bitcoin right now? Are you longing other alts? If you guys aren't on an exchange, use my affiliate link for Bybit. You get a big fat juicy bonus, but more importantly, you get to join the alpha group. And I think that's just probably why, because I've got everything that I had in there for margin to protect myself on that trade. It's still just sitting there now in stable coin, right? Like, and I don't. It's not a nice feeling to have all that stable coin and everything else is. So I need to make a move, and I'm going to consult in the group today, you guys. If you guys are in the VIP group, help me out. Let me know. Tag me in there. Let me know. What should I do, guys? I've got, let's just have a little fun game here. What do we have? The Bybit account. So let's go here. And so you can see my, where is it? Okay, equity. So $621,000 here. What do I do with it, right? Do I open up a long here, 3x, 10x, that was, yeah. So let me know, you guys can see right here. This is when I sold, after being in the negative for so long, after we went the wrong direction after the approval. So, but all in all, can't complain about it. So still up 100,000 from that trade. So, anyway, sorry, my own little personal rant there. Again, search terms, guys. I told you that's building the case that we are so early, right? And these videos right now that I'm making, they're getting 20,000, 30,000 views. When the retail comes back in full force, I'm sure we'll be getting hundreds of thousands, if not more. Or hundreds, yeah, probably. And then, but you can just tell. Look at this search term. So this is the 2017. I remember, and I told you on the last video too, and I made sure to include it today at the how much more search volume there was for Bitcoin in 2017 than oddly there was in 2021. But you better believe that as we, and this is Ethereum, right? You better believe that as we come up into now, because I showed you guys in the last video, search, actually it's right here. The traffic is like nothing. So wait until Bitcoin gets back to old all-time highs, which we think is probably going to happen sooner than later, because we've never had the ultra rich just every day buying up Bitcoin, which cannot be made on the money printer. It is the dream scenario playing out before our eyes. The one that ever since you've been orange pilled, and if you're not orange pilled, then that's okay. But I have been for a long time, and it's been a dream to see this coming true. we'll get into maybe the Bitcoin stuff in another video. I don't get too sidetracked on this one, but the inflows are just absolutely nuts. And don't forget the halving is coming up in about 2 months, right? And so the amount of available Bitcoin in the world on a daily basis is going to be cut in half. So, and demand just seems to be increasing, right? Like, because like I told you before, it's only been 28 trading days, I think, of the ETFs. It takes at least 3 to 6 months for these bigger funds to start writing those checks into these asset classes. So maybe some of them are acting quicker than others because there's probably some very good salespeople at BlackRock. I'm sure they hire the best, who've convinced them to move quickly before the halving. Be a smart move to do. But anyway, those of you who I'm sure none of you guys did because you guys are a very smart audience and we're a very, very smart community. But people did get spooked from CPI data, right? And I'm sure it wasn't any of you guys. There's no way. But we did see that correction and just massive buying back in. It's relentless bidding from mostly BlackRock, Fidelity, guys like that. So, but Bitcoin dominance has been quite high right now. You can see this is a little chart that Miles been over here, where you still have, if altcoins were the altcoin total 3, which is excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, the entire altcoin market cap, if it were to hit, back to parity essentially with where the Bitcoin dominance is right now, or the same dominance level, we still have a lot more room to grow. So as I just said, you can see that Bitcoin dominance right now is at a 1-year high, which means that the altcoins aren't pumping so much. I mean, you guys know a lot of the ones that we've been calling have been doing quite well. Some of them have been stagnant, but overall, it's a Bitcoin-led rally right now. But let's take a look at this, right? So this is also the total 3. So it's crypto total market cap, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. And you can see that this chart on the right, this is what happened. Let's see if I can zoom in. Yep. So this is the range right here, where the accumulation range of where we are now of pre-2021 bull run. I remember this is when us at Paid Network we're trying to raise money and no one wanted to give us any. And I think this like this vertical line right here is when we launched. And that's when it was just Valhalla, right? And so we are approaching that, which is exciting. Look at this. We're very, very close to this thing popping right now, which is a good time. And for you, those of you guys who have been around this entire bear market and longer, congratulations. It was not easy. And it feels a bit surreal, to be honest, to be back where we are today and to also be so well prepared so early. I mean, making these videos for you guys also helps me a lot to stay in tune with the market on a daily basis to understand what's going on. But also we had a lot of lessons that we got to learn in the last bull run, building projects, paid and investing and all these kind of things, hopefully trying to master the art of the markets, right? Of making money here. So, and the trend line that we're seeing down here, guys, is essentially right here, right? And you can see it's almost breaking through that, right? So when it gets to just like, this is the total market cap. So right now we're sitting at, of altcoin, total market cap, $530 billion. So when the altcoins smash through this line, it'll be a good time to be in alts, and we will make sure, and you want to be subscribed to this channel because we will make sure that we share the best ones with you guys, the ones that have pumpamentals and fundamentals and are going to make you the most bank. So I thought this was a really, really good post here by Stoic Savage, because in the comments I see some type of remarks about, Kyle, why do you tell us about this coin when it's already up 3x in the last 3 months or whatever? Well, because it already pumped. let's delete that phrase from your vocabulary, because something in alt season can pump, and then next week it can pump, and then that's when it gets interesting, because people say don't go chasing green candles, right? And I think this is predominantly for volatile sideways markets, right? But we will like to use momentum, right? And in these kind of scenarios, momentum is definitely your friend, and it's a good place to be. And that's probably why I will start entering back into my longs on leverage as well. I just wanted to feel more comfortable in the momentum that we were going. So what are some good altcoins, guys? Zeta, of course, ZetaChain up from when I told you guys about it. It seems like, and I'm pretty sure, like, am I not the only? I think I'm like the only channel talking about this, really. But I did see it earlier today on I think Dylan's show on Crypto Banter. Rand just mentioned it briefly or something. It will start being talked about more. This thing will pump to $3 or $4 probably pretty soon. And the objective here, guys, is really, with the ones we're talking about today, is where can I put some money right now that is going to give me a nice a nice war chest to be able to start taking the profits out of these larger caps into the medium, small cap, and micro caps, where those literally life-changing gains will be made. And so the goal here is what the altcoins about to talk about. I do think that they will, 2x, 3x here in the next 2 months, 3 months, right? Which is phenomenal, right? That's like good. It's really, really good. It's not like prime bull run for altcoin season where things will do that in days, but we're not going to see a lot of that just yet, because it is a Bitcoin-led rally. However, there is a bit of transition into the Ethereum market, and we'll talk about that in just a bit here as well. So if you were to play some alpha on ZetaChain, now I'm not saying that you do. I certainly have not. But I saw this post, and I couldn't help ask myself, well, is there a meme coin on ZetaChain already? And so Glug says, Zeta pumping, new L1, what's the golden rule of entering a new chain? And essentially, the golden rules are, buy the animal meme coin, the first one, and what else did he say? And interact with tokenless dApps, right? So for airdrops. I didn't go do a bunch of research into tokenless dApps for you guys. I did look for a meme. There is a meme, and I think this is it. I haven't bought it yet, but like, and I might put it like a couple for fun, right? Because it's they just seem to have put no effort into this thing, or maybe they put a lot. I don't know, guys. If you really did try on this, I'm sorry for knocking your project, but it's clear that it was. I think what would have been really what would have been interesting is kind of something like I forgot the project that we talked about recently over that was taking advantage. I don't know. It was anyway. If it was a meme that took advantage. You remember the one that had like the NFT? Oh, the 4 token 22, the token 22 project, SLP 22. What was it? Oh, I forgot. Anyway, taking advantage of the technology, because we know that ZetaChain allows you to like just deploy on ZetaChain and be on all the other ERCs at the same time. So I thought that would have been cool if they did that, but they didn't. So anyway, the market cap right now on this thing, $279,000. I mean, it could rug and go to zero for sure, and it could definitely go down and just hover at $10,000, and you could lose all your money, and you likely will. But if every influencer in the world tomorrow started talking about ZetaChain, and like all of a sudden, I mean, again, don't buy that. Don't buy it. Okay. Say's on the list today because, well, it's been pumping, right? And this is kind of my theory right here, is that people like to see the new shiny coins. That's where the attention is. And that's where money is, ecosystem development, as long as they don't F it up, right? As long as they don't like, the new ecosystems, like SEI has a good opportunity right now to really take advantage of the first paralyzed EVM to hit, to go to mainnet, right? And then have all of these, like there's a good, like if it's up and running smoothly, that means that all of these major dApps that are being built on top of Ethereum that are expensive can easily port over to SEI. The end users don't know any difference, and it's faster and cheaper. It'll feel much better. It'll feel like Solana basically, or even faster. So for that reason, and the reason that we've been bullish on SEI the whole time, I'm including it in this list of today's projects. Now, the meme that we've been talking about for a very long time that I don't know, the first time I saw, I just said, this is so dumb, it's going to work. And what we've seen is while a lot of the other memes that came along meme season have largely shriveled up and died, WIF hasn't yet. And it still has significant volume. I would say that it is now the premier. I mean, I don't know if it's a premier. I don't know if it's, we saw Bonk, right? But it is the only premier meme coin on, there's Miro, but anyway, for me personally, it's the thing that I think is the best, right? For gains right now. So I'm still in WIF. I haven't sold any of my tokens. From the very, very first video I made for you guys, we're all up in this thing, like, I don't know, 12, 13, 14x on this thing already. So this thing can easily do 3, 4, or 5x. I mean, and that's another thing too, is the perception that you have of how high something can go is likely to be shattered in an altcoin market, like in altcoin season. It's WIF is at 45 cents. Like, you're thinking, okay, that's, what is a realistic possibility of how much more could this thing go up to? Well, the answer is you really don't know. There's like no ceiling on these kind of things in an alt season. So the best thing to do is have a strategy around how to take profits on these things. And we will talk about that in future videos, making sure that you have taken money out along the way. I did take out some money in WIF actually to buy something else. I forget what it was. I needed it quickly, but I had made so much on it already, and it made sense to do it, right? So I think I took out like half my, and I probably should have taken out my entire initial, but I personally think that WIF has got, it hasn't seemed to, it just seems to be sticking around. It made it enough of the way to where when we start getting alt action coming back, Solana action coming back, in my opinion, WIF is going to crank. So Dymension, it's still being Dymension, and it's still going up and it's range bound. But again, it's probably going to break that range bound section here. Again, the question is, will the team be able to continue with their marketing and onboarding new projects? We know that there's good airdrops coming up still. And for that reason, those airdrops will give this project attention for at least the next, until those 2 airdrops have come. And maybe they have some other big ones lined up. But we know that in the short term, this thing will be getting attention, right? And so, it's sitting at, I don't know, what is it right now? It's, $8. Like, it's going to 10, right? Like, it's going to 10 soon. And it's probably going to 15 soon within the next month or two. And that's the point, guys, is to really show you the things that have strong fundamentals, because we can go out and we can guess essentially at what smaller caps are going to increase, maybe 3 or 4 or 5x in the next couple months. But that would be literally going to the shitcoin casino and pulling the handle and hoping for the best. At least with these things that have been in the attention, in the spotlight recently, we know that they are still going to be in the attention and spotlight. And while we have momentum working for us, let's take advantage of that. Another one that has just been absolutely crushing it is Banana. Like, you guys, we talked about this between, like $6 or whatever. It's at 20 almost $26, right? So I told you guys in the last show why with the revenue models and what it's generating, very powerful technology, still at a fairly low market cap. I think it will continue to run. For a full, this is not a full list, but these coins also have been in price discovery, trying to figure out how high they can go. You know, we talked about Neutrino, we talked about Sui, I talked about PIF on the last one a little bit. Tau is something I haven't talked about too much. Let me know in the comments below, guys, which one of these things you guys think I should maybe do a deep dive on. Tau is something that we've been considering. I haven't done a deep dive on Beam, not on AI. Caspa, obviously. Prime, nope. And Say. So, good list. There's many more on there that aren't on there, but we do have some interesting information here where we're seeing increase in ETH action, right? And 10 days ago, I mean, the entire Ethereum ecosystem of on-chain volume was like $650 million. The entire Ethereum ecosystem, not just like one protocol, Ethereum. And now, 10 days later, we are at, 3 times that. So, momentum is building here, guys. Momentum is building strong. So we had the Starknet anticipated airdrop that a lot of people have been talking about. And there's some important lessons to be learned here, right? And generally, the community is very, very negative about the whole way this thing went down. First, in context, Starkware is building Starknet. I think layer 2, they've been building for a long time, very popular. I'm pretty sure they raised money at like tens of billions of dollars, something crazy like that, from every big tier 1 VC in the world. And they're doing an airdrop, right? And the airdrop is 700 million Starkware tokens to 1.3 million wallets, Starknet users, StarkX users, e-stakers pre-merge and ETH protocol, guild members, and GitHub contributors. But that's not any of us, right? I don't qualify for any of this. Do you guys? Most people did not claim for that, and that's kind of why people are fighting this a bit. It's first of all, it's not a lot. Plus, you'll see here in a second that the unlocks for team and investors are not going to work in your favor here at all. We know from Aevo, which we look at all the time for pre-market trading data, that this thing with 10 billion tokens is trading right now at a $16.8 billion fully diluted valuation. No. It's too high, guys. It's too high. So I'm going to advise on this one to when, definitely not participating in the retail. This is too high. Additionally, when you look at what's going to be happening in the first few months, this is quite scary. So let's zoom in here on the bottom where it says, to align long-term incentives of the investors and early contributors with the interests of the Starknet community and following common practice in decentralized ecosystems, I don't know about that, all tokens allocated to investors and early contributors will be subject to the following scheduled lockup, where percentages are based on the total token supply. So 13.1% of the total supply becomes liquid on April 15th. So in 2 months, sorry. In 2 months, and that's 13% of $17 billion is a lot of, most VCs are going to be selling their back. You'd be crazy not to, in my opinion. I'm sure they bought this thing for $100 million valuation, whatever, and they're up 170x. So of course, but that just means that you're probably going to see the chart it'll probably be okay for the next 2 months, and then, but overall sentiment is not good amongst the Starkware or Starknet community and general public. They only had this 9% provision for community, which isn't great. You know, if you guys watch what I do with Commonwealth and Paid Network, you know that I try to focus on retail access more, retail exposure more, giving more opportunity to everyone of you guys. And so people are kind of fighting. Like I'm not taking a side on this either way. It's irrelevant for me. I don't care about Starkware. We're not building on Starkware. I'm not buying the tokens, and so, but there are some things that come out of this, right? And a lesson that is kind of prevalent is if the price goes up a lot, then you're awesome and your tech is amazing and you're gonna revolutionize the world of crypto. But if I can't make any money on your project and the price goes down, then you're a horrible founder and your project sucks and you probably have a terrible life. So you can see that there's a lot of people that were trying to farm this thing aggressively. They were trying to Sybil farm Starkware, and it didn't go so well for them. This Waz Crypto says 300 transactions, slaving away dozens of transactions monthly and paying hundreds of gas fees to farm a measly 7% airdrop, only to not qualify because didn't have 0.005 in my wallet. And you know, yeah, I'll be curious to see, but yes, anyway, the purpose is, the point is that if you want to be a popular ecosystem and the ultimate goal is to get people to build on your chain, you have to get buy-in from the retail, from us, from public, and you have to make them happy. This is with anything, any dApp, any usage in blockchain, Web3, like the community must be looked after and taken care of, right? And it is 9%. It's not like it's horrible, but you know, it's also not phenomenal. So interesting. So Chainlink God talks about it a little bit. Says eligible for the airdrop. This protocol will revolutionize society, adoption, and going exponential. All the devs are GigaChat geniuses, not eligible for the airdrop. The protocol is useless vaporware. Adoption metrics are flatlining, and the devs are basically scammers, basically. So we know that he's talking about Starknet and Starkware and what happened there, the whole debacle. You know, if you guys want to farm something very like this is common. So today, I think earlier today, we had the AMA with a team for Commonwealth talking about this free fund. I told you guys about it last video, but if you look at the rules, like everybody wins, right? For spending zero, very like all you have to do, like really you'll get something if you just download the Commonwealth app when it's time to kick this thing off. And you have 10 participants that each win a $10,000 private sale allocation into that fund, which likely could 25, 50x, right? These top 10 tier people, their $10,000 for free that they get in the fund could easily turn into hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? If not a million, or even possibly in the bull run, right? And then the rest, so then the next 50 will get $5,000 allocation into it. Amazing. And then the next 1,000 will get $1,000. So it's all free. And you don't have to go, and you're not going to have to do this crazy nonstop type of engagement farming with, you know, the bots and like, on the 21st, this whole thing will launch and you guys will have the exact rules, but it'll be going out and doing quests, right? And that's how you'll be able to participate. So very solid kind of airdrop coming up with Commonwealth. If you guys aren't following them on X, like you definitely should go do that at Join Commonwealth. And what did I pull up here? Also, guys, I didn't mention a couple of days ago for Paid Network, we had another announcement for Aether games. And there's a very big announcement coming for this company in the next couple of days. And on Pay Network, we are going to be doing a $1 million raise for them. And you guys, finally, it's time for us to start kicking things off again. Time for us to be back in IDO season. On the paid side of things, we are working aggressively to to innovate and make sure that we stay on top. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, I have a video on Paid Network. I'll link it in the description below, as well as the wiki here. So if you just go to paidnetwork.com and then go up here to wiki, it'll open this up and you can see everything that you need to know on how to do it and why the circular token economy is so powerful and all this good stuff. But the most important thing is that when I talk to projects, they really love open pool and the idea behind it. And so, and there will be and we'll be doing lots of airdrops with Paid Network as well. Lots and lots of airdrops for being a paid staker. And guys, that's going to wrap it up today. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.